keep going.
So
Welcome
Zara,
to Dean's List.
she
I'm your
went
host,
through our
Dean
full,
Kitaboski, and we are about to talk to
Shea
some really interesting
pipeline
people.
and everything Shea.
Get ready.
She is the best example.
Are you ready? I'm ready. Are you ready? All right, let's go.
She won EPC, got into our Accelerator program, and then won Strakosch last year. And then she
Strakosch is the big one, right?
Yeah, Strakosch is our
competition.
Yeah. So we give away 10 grand to the winner, and basically it's any and all ideas like that are really fleshed out business. The philosophy with Shea is throughout the year we have what we call the pipeline, where you can start with just a baby idea or like even just a problem and bring it to a fully fleshed out company by the end of the year. We start off with our EPC, our elevator pitch competition, which happened earlier this semester. We had a freshman win, which was really cool to see.
Okay.
Her idea was flow bag. It's like a water sports bag. But basically you start off with the idea, then you go through EPC, come to the lab, which is where you go from ideation to execution, which you can probably talk about your experience with.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah.
But then after that, we go to Accelerator Program, where like you have 9 weeks to develop our company, which applications are open for that. So that's our big push coming up. And then Strakosch is the big one where we try and set you up for potential having up to 10 grand in funding. So
Is that all doable in 1 year?
Yeah.
Get business from nothing to something?
Yeah,
in
exactly.
1 year? Okay.
Yeah, we had one of our board members did it last year. Ted Wind, he's a junior. He's going abroad next semester, unfortunately. But
losing a good one.
I know. He originally started out as a freshman ambassador, and started out, which was the old name for our freshman innovation program, which is like our student development program for freshman year. But he started out there and just like loved entrepreneurship. Is an unbelievable pitcher, and he came up with the idea for EPC called Socion, which he's still pursuing. And he went on, he placed in Strakosch, and then went on to continue pursuing it. He's had a few customers, making revenue. It's unbelievable to see.
Right. Real quick, I should preface by saying this is Chris from
Hello.
Start Shea.
Nice to meet you guys.
Forgot to do the introduction.
Yeah.
That's fine though. That was a good little thing starting. So, so Strakosch, there's not just first place. How does that work?
No, yeah,
Couple
it's
positions?
we have 3 places and then crowd favorite.
Okay.
Totals up to 20
Oh,
grand.
is there a crowd?
Yeah.
Like
we have
audience? Okay.
for EPC for demo day, which is where we show off all of our accelerator startups, and Strakosch. Those are like big 3 crowd participation events in terms of like we book out the Schiller Auditorium and
The
like
1 of
try
6 or whatever it is. Yeah.
we try and fill it up and just have as many people. We have a crowd favorite vote for whoever gets to come in and decides whether it's like friends or just like random professionals that come in and decide who they thought was either the favorite or the best pitch, all around type stuff. So it's nice to have the crowd have a say in who actually gets some of this funding, because what we're trying to do is not only give these student founders opportunities, but also like just expose a bunch of people to the entrepreneurship community at BC. That's what's really special about what we do, in my opinion.
Definitely. I mean, I assume as a student company, half of it is literally just getting it out to the other students.
Yeah,
right?
Definitely.
Yeah.
I think like one of the largest parts of it is just getting exposure. And with
You're a tall guy. I forgot to adjust that.
no, you're good.
I didn't realize you were 6'7".
Nah.
So,
But one of the big things is just like getting opportunities to get eyes in front of all these companies. And like what we're trying to do is not necessarily like, obviously we're trying to help these startups. That's like our slogan is make ideas happen for a reason. And we have all these programs to help student startups and student founders, but we're also just trying to get students exposed to the BC entrepreneurship community and all that it brings in. Like, I have no ideas. I have like the best idea I have ever come up with was a cover for a guitar, an acoustic guitar, to block the pick from going into it. That's like not
genius. That solves a problem.
But like,
solves a problem.
But that also exists and is really not enough to make a company out of it.
Okay.
So
Fair.
like I have this like one baby idea. Maybe if I like was going through the events at the time and everything like that, I could come up with a way to leverage it. But like I don't have any current ideas that I'm pursuing. A lot of our board members don't. A few of them do, which there are absolute rock stars. Mm-hmm. But that's a sidebar. Most of us really don't have ideas. What we have are passion for helping out founders and passion for helping make these awesome ideas and giving people opportunities to just learn. That's what I get the most out of this. I think it's like the gratification of just sitting down with a company and like watching them grow throughout the year, and like having all these people come and like learn about these awesome kids that they are in class with, like presenting at demo day, and like they have this amazing startup. Like I had class with Zara, or like I had known her from Relay last year, and then all of a sudden she's up there presenting a first ever constantly monitoring mold spore monitor, kind of like carbon monoxide detector, but for mold. And like seeing stuff like that come out is unbelievable.
This lab program is really helpful too, because, and I'll use Zara as an example real quick. Her company made no sense to me until she got up there and she was talking about obviously the different types of pitches that you can do and the different uses for them. And then she explained it as a fire alarm for mold, and it just made a lot more sense. So I can see the lab being super helpful, especially for something like the Accelerator Program, where your whole goal, right, is to build it to a point that you can pitch it.
Yeah,
right?
Definitely. I think like what's so awesome about the lab is it shows you a little bit of everything that it takes to run or create a business. It doesn't necessarily have to be like, you don't have to have a ton of boots on the ground already or a ton of pieces in place. You can just have like kind of the baby idea from EPC, and you can take it and see, okay, here's a little bit of what it needs to be a technical co-founder, like we had the session a few weeks ago with Sahil and BCCS. It also have like, oh, what's it like to pitch? Or like, how do you actually, frame your company so people can understand what the heck constantly detecting mold spore monitor means, for example, or just like whether it's, how to pitch your whether it's a B2B product, whether it's just like, I'm selling this new speaker or something like that. Like any and everything is like something that we want to help, and the lab is there to help like actually figure out the logistics behind it and teach you how to think and how to consider everything that's going on around you in order to actually kind of step into that.
Right.
Into that, like taking the leap to be a student founder or anything like that.
Yeah, you said earlier that a lot of the people at Shea, they just do it because they like helping people get their ideas out there. Yeah. You guys don't take any equity in these
never.
Like the Accelerator, you get $1,500 if you get into the Accelerator. You said $10,000, it's ridiculous. Yeah. But you don't take any of that equity.
No, we don't.
So where do you get that money from to just give away?
So we're technically funded through the dean of we're technically funded through CSOM, but we do not need you do not need to be in CSOM to participate in our events. We actually have a ton of CSOM, members and like student founders, but we also have a bunch of MCAS members, Zars and Lynch, for example. We've had a bunch of people come through that like aren't necessarily like business minded or anything like that, or like business affiliated, and that's one of the things that we're trying to appeal to. So we have planned like sessions at Shea with Collab, which are just like one-off workshops that we do. We try and plan those with clubs or people who aren't necessarily so business oriented too, to try and get that wider audience to show like you don't necessarily need to be a business student or anything like that to benefit from being an entrepreneur or anything like that.
I know a lot of the people that come through the lab don't even have an idea.
Yeah.
So I can tell those programs are probably working.
Yeah.
Is your goal to help them find an idea? Because you said you don't even have an idea.
Yeah.
So is the goal to help them find one, or just to help them come up with ways to find one? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think what's so special about Shea is like, if there's sort of two aspects of our goals. We have the goal of helping student founders and like giving these kids resources and giving these people resources to actually fill out and like build up a company. But we also have the goal of teaching the lesson that the biggest lesson I've learned from Shea is you don't need to be a founder to be an entrepreneur. And I think that we're trying to give more and more effort and resources into teaching other people that, where you don't necessarily need to, go through our freshman program, go through anything like that. You can just come to a couple of events and learn a little bit about the entrepreneur's mindset, as we call it, like our four big traits of an entrepreneur are initiative, adaptability, self-awareness, and resilience. And like learning about those four, or just like picking up a little bit about, how does an entrepreneur think? How does an entrepreneur problem solve? What skills kind of foster that entrepreneurship goal and everything like that.
Right.
That's what really is special, and I think it's the other side of the coin that we're flipping, which I think is really cool.
It's because at different sizes of company, like there's a difference between coming up with an idea, going through with it. That would be the founder aspect, probably starting the company with that idea. But then when it grows more and more, it takes a different type of person.
Exactly.
So it sounds like you're trying to like teach someone how to get from here to here, obviously, which is the goal of Shea. How do you teach people to go from founder to what's next, what's after? That would be like CEO. How do you teach someone to go from there to there?
Yeah, I think it's part of that is our Accelerator program, and it's kind of once you come to us as a founder, or whether you come to us with an idea, we can help you kind of become and step into your role as a founder at a company, help foster this idea into an actual business and everything like that. We're there also to teach you how to run that business and how to kind of like when to focus, when to pivot, when to kind of do these little tweaks, and when to go really hard in the paint on one specific aspect of your business. Let's say you're spread too thin right now across a bunch of different, I don't know, if you like are trying to cover too much ground and you think like, oh, these are all individually great ideas, but we're just trying to do too much. We're also there through our Accelerator program to say, why don't you focus on this specific aspect? Why don't you focus on your activity board posts instead of having to do the activity board posts and a marketplace and a sign up sheet and all of this different stuff.
Right.
So that's what I think is one of the really special parts of
I know what
where
that's
we
like.
come in. Yeah.
Like
yeah.
Trying to be on Twitter for some reason, like Facebook. That's for a podcast. That doesn't make sense right now.
Yeah. I think it's like, and that's part of where we try and help students focus and like learn to think about, okay, logistically, what's going to help me and my business run best. I think that's an awesome part of what we do.
Right. And you have, in the Accelerator program, mentors,
Yes,
right?
we do.
Yeah. So who are those mentors? Where do you get them from? Are they alumni, current students?
So it's a whole mix. We've had alumni and former student founders that are now graduated, like Jack Russell, who you've had on. He's come to a lot of our events and comes and supports us all the time.
Did MC go through Accelerator?
They did. They went through Accelerator. They went through Strakosch. They went through EPC. They had crowd favorite at Strakosch, if I remember correctly.
Okay. Is there a reward for that too? An award for?
Yeah.
Crowd favorite.
Crowd favorite. You get a smaller chunk of money, but you still get some money. Depends on.
Take the money.
Yeah. Exactly. But yeah, so I think. We get like young alumni and former student founders like him. We also have like more established founders that have gone through, whether they're BC founders or Shea founders specifically within BC, whether it's Katie Diasti from or the dream is like get like Justin Robinson from Drizzly or something like that. But I think like
who's that? Justin
Robinson, founder of Drizzly.
What is Drizzly?
Drizzly is, you don't know Drizzly? Wow.
Never heard of Drizzly. What is Drizzly?
BC. It's like the BC entrepreneurship company. It's BC's first unicorn, which is a company that reaches $1 billion, and it's basically
all right.
It's like DoorDash for alcohol.
Really? I've heard of GoPuff.
It's kind of like GoPuff, but it works directly with liquor stores. So
got it.
It's awesome. We had a recorded guest lecture of him from my Digitech class back in the day, and he was awesome. But like,
did he work with Start Shea?
No, he didn't. He was here before, Shea was founded. Shea was originally founded in 2015. It used to be in Cushing Hall, which is where Schiller, which is where Schiller is now, or it was, and it was just like above the bio labs.
You said Cushing Hall. I thought of the dorm.
No, not the dorm.
No,
it was like where 245 Beacon or Schiller is now. Like the old building that was there, we were in there, above the labs, just like as a space for student founders to come and like work on their startups. Okay. Then we started to grow a little bit more, had like our venture competition and everything like that, but once they tore down Cushing, we moved up to the top back right part of Kearney. So like as far away as possible, impossible to get to. But that's where we had a bunch of we had a bunch of, like, that's where we started to grow. That's where we were while Schiller was being constructed, and while I was like while I was a part of the freshman program.
Until recently, y'all were just getting bitched.
Yeah. And then once it finally, Schiller finished second semester of my freshman year, so we hop over there, and like just since then, just like even having that visibility and like basically just like being more available, and that's one thing we're trying to do more now is be more available, but being available for students and like having just like the Shea room in more vision, and like being able to put our posters right outside so people can knock on our door and ask and everything like that. That's been huge for us. It's been so huge for us because we get to, actually get out in front of people and like show off like, hey, this is what we're doing. Or like the lab is now so easy to get to because it's just walk into Schiller and it's right there.
Right.
And it's all that type of stuff. So I think that's been what's really special. But to get back to your accelerator question about like mentors, we have those former student founders or just like BC founders. Then we also have like working professionals in the venture industry, for example. We'll have we had Mo from not GenCat. Mo from, I sent an application in there. Crud. This is bad. But
Mo sounds great. No, I see where you're going.
Yeah. But he, like, we had...
Is he an alumni?
Okay. He's a BC alum, but he works for a growth equity firm. We'll have, like, connections with people at like SC Ventures, not the studio, but like the venture partners, where people like Brannick Wakes, they come in and they'll give us our Shea Center talks and everything like that. Okay. But they'll also come back and give to these founders, give their time, give their effort, and everything like that. Mike Perry, he's done marketing for Meta. I think he's at Snap now. He's done marketing for all around Rag and Bone, and like they come back, one, to give their Shea Center talks, which are so huge and so helpful for us, but also to give back to these student startups, which is so awesome.
That's the most beneficial resource you can possibly get as a mentor. You can skip hours of research. Why would you do it on your own when you've got someone happy to help you out right there that already knows it?
And like I've benefited from that even in like not having a company, like in my recruitment process for internships and everything like that. It's just like those resources and people who I've learned to talk to, and like learning from founders, whether it was like for Solstice we had Kate Brummy, who was CEO of Mass Challenge, just like casually like able to hop on a call with her and be able to chat about like career advice and everything like that. That exposure and like those people that we're able to bring in, and like whether it's Peter Bell coming back to judge EPC for the 15th time or whatever, he's awesome and so helpful to us, and everyone is so generous to us, and we're so grateful for all their support. Christina Quinn always comes back. She's with SSC too. You
have a list. This is a crazy list. Yeah, I'll give you that.
Yeah, and I'm barely cracking the surface. Allie Steichen, one of our current members, she was co-chair, and she just recently stepped down as co-chair. She's still on the board running our dev team, just because we like to have seniors be able to roll off and enjoy their senior spring before they slave away too much for us. But her sister was also co-chair of Shea, and her name's Jenna Steichen. She's at Summit Partners, which is like huge growth equity company, and she always comes back like nailing the VC interview is one of her classic workshops, and just like talking about her experience, like whether it's through recruitment or just like as an investor, what she looks for. She's awesome. Like all of these alums are so generous to us, and we can never thank them enough. So our way of paying that forward is continuing to try and build up these companies and build up this BC entrepreneurship space, so that they have the ability to pay forward what's been paid forward to them. Right. It's really special.
Some crazy helpful resources right there. How do you pair up each resource with let's take Accelerator as an example. How do you pair them up with their teams? Does it depend on industry, something like that?
Depends on industry, depends on what each team is looking for too. So like last year during our Accelerator program, we had a ton of teams looking for technical help. So we reached out to some coding mentors and everything like that, and then we're able to like say to we sent out a Google form, like, what are you looking for in your mentorship? When we had like, what industry do you consider yourself? What do you want? What do you want to achieve out of mentorship? Do you want marketing help? Do you want coding help? Do you want technical help? Do you want how to like business logistics? Do you want legal help? All that type of stuff. and we basically gave them like that form, and then had our list of mentors that we were reached out to ask their willingness to help, how much time and teams they're willing to work with, because we want to be super respectful of them, super respectful of their time and everything like that too. But we kind of filter through those surveys, see what pairings, and like have conversations with our student founders, conversations with those mentors, figure out what could be the best pairing and everything like that.
Okay. And on that note, Accelerator Program, do all teams enter in the Strakosch competition? Or is that
No.
Okay.
No. Yeah.
How does that work?
So Strakosch, so the way everyone through Accelerator presents a demo day, which is our kind of culmination of Accelerator. It's a true accelerator because like if you go to Y Combinator, they're like one of the bigger accelerator programs in the country. They have a demo day. And it's basically just to show off the progress that you've made throughout the Accelerator program. Could be just going from that baby idea to having maybe, created a survey and like gauged interest around campus and everything like that. Or could be something much more advanced, like going from having like just a pitch deck like Zara did to starting out to create a prototype or anything like that. Or actually developing an MVP like Russ did with MC and everything like that. It's demo day is where everyone from Accelerator gets to pitch, but we find that students who go through Accelerator are more successful in Strakosch, or often more successful. It's not unheard of.
I would assume so.
Yes, it's not unheard of for students not kind of going through Strakosch or not going through Accelerator to place in Strakosch or anything like that. Like we've had it happen in the past. But it's just like on average, if you look at like the batting average or whatever sports metaphor you want to throw out there.
Take that one. Field goal percentage.
Yeah. If you want to look at that like batting average, then on average we see that just because of the workshops, and we don't do any of the judging for Strakosch or anything like that, because we try and like our student board members try and stay as uninvolved with like actually we want to make sure that it's as fair as possible and giving as many people this shot. So we try and eliminate all bias. So we have these awesome professionals come in, and just because they're so prepared from those 9 workshops in Accelerator, then they're in such a good position to actually pitch these companies, answer these questions that the principal at Amity Ventures comes and asks you. That's very intimidating,
right?
But like they're so ready to come and answer these questions and just stay cool, stay calm, stay collected.
They went to Zara's lab session.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. And all of that is so awesome, and I think that's why they do so well. It's just they're so prepared and so ready, and it's such an awesome experience and such a great resource to give, and so gratifying to be able to play a small role, whatever small role I do, in being able to kind of pay forward the awesome like experience and give everyone these opportunities. And even like for non-founders like me, just like give the opportunities to learn more about it. That's so fun to me.
Right. So how is this funded, Strakosch? Is that a guy?
Strakosch, it was originally funded through it's through the Strakosch. We have a specific trust for the venture competition that we take out of a specific amount each year, and then we get some funding from the dean and everything like that.
Got you. So do you invest that fund at all, or is it just waiting for each year? Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah, we just take it, and just through donations and everything like that.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, outside of the lab and Accelerator, what kind of programs does Shea have? Do you have any collaborations you're working on with other groups?
Yeah, definitely. So I guess I'll start with how I got involved. I got involved freshman year because my Portico TA, she was co-chair, and she was, during the club fair, was standing on the table holding up a sign that said, "Join our newsletter," and she yelled at me, "Christopher Carrabes, pick up your phone, scan our newsletter, and join, and take a tote bag."
That's not bullying.
No. Yeah.
That's not peer pressure at all. No.
But no, yeah, I absolutely love her, and that was like the best like crazy interaction I ever had, because it made me sign up for the newsletter, which made me notice the freshman. It was called at the time the Freshman Ambassador Program. Now it's the Freshman Innovation Program, and basically that's like our community development program, personal and professional development for freshmen. And that's how I first got involved. First semester is a lot of like community and like skill set development. So we had like a networking workshop, we had a LinkedIn and resume night, but we also had like fun stuff like, we went went and had a barbecue. We had, you know, Thanksgiving before Shea, or Shea's Giving before Thanksgiving break, and like all the fun community stuff. Or like we had a pitch workshop where we played Business Walrus, which you guys played which you played last night.
Ridiculous game.
It's a great game.
Fun one. Yep.
Yeah. So yeah, we have those opportunities through the first semester, and then second semester you kind of get to dip your toes into actually planning an event. And that's where I kind of fell in love with Shea, and like as much of a grind as it is, when you see that board poster come up, or when you see that all these people coming to our demo day, or like all these people filing in to the auditorium, or all these companies coming, or these students with these ideas for our case comp, or literally anything at all, to see them come, it makes it all so worth it. And like to see the smiles on people's faces, and like how passionate they are, and how much they really care, and like being able to provide them these opportunities is so special.
It's got to be gratifying.
Yeah.
It's got to be gratifying.
Yeah, and so that was where I first got in. I just kind of had my little hand in helping plan our old tech and entrepreneurship fair. And then
I remember that one. I went to that one last year, specifically just to ask people if they wanted to be on a podcast. that was it.
Yeah.
That was it. That's where I met Jag, actually.
Oh,
So
really?
It worked out.
Yeah.
But yeah,
definitely.
That's a great one.
Yeah.
You guys have a couple of those fairs too, other than the demo day and then this fair, obviously.
So this year we're taking a break from T&E because recruitment has been really, really chaotic, especially in both the tech and the entrepreneurship space, and just like the way it kind of lines up in our timeline and everything like that. We think our resources would be better allocated in other places, just like for our team members' sake and everything like that. So instead, we're trying to do more meaningful sessions at Shea. Where it's more like entrepreneur's toolbox or toolkit set, where you like get more of those opportunities, like those lab sessions, but even more in-depth hands-on workshop type stuff, to have those set. Just because like thinking about like asking these companies to come in the middle of an absolutely horrible time in the market and everything like that has been super hard, and just like in terms of how we actually, you know, want to be able to, like, where we can bring the most value add. We thought that, you know, giving students more hard skills that, like, when they get those opportunities and everything like that is totally awesome. But also, like, in terms of, like, those, we do put on, like, these mixer type events or something like that, or just, like, sessions at Shea where we bring in your question about partnerships, like, where we bring in not only another company, or not only someone from outside. So we had, the founder and CEO of King's Crowd, which is a small investment firm. They came in because one of our board members, Charlie Coughlin, he worked for them over the summer, and he had that connection, was able to bring them in. But we paired with VCPE, which is another Shea Center club, but we also like are working on a collaboration with BC MedLife.
What is it? Sorry, VCPE?
Venture capital, Boston College Venture Capital Private Equity Company.
Got you. Okay.
Or Venture Capital Private Equity Club, not company.
I was gonna say, do they? And they have different students come to some of these events too. I remember the first lab session. There were a couple of members of that club at that event.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, so it's awesome to see like us being able to pull from different communities, and what we're trying to do with like setting up that collab with MedLife is tap into resources and students around campus and show them like the value add that we can bring, even if you're not necessarily like a CSOM student, or like not necessarily like our usual audience who's, you know, super pumped on entrepreneurship, but like just will randomly show up to something.
I mean, that's the key, getting the people that aren't necessarily hooked on one thing involved, right?
And showing like the value add that we can bring is so huge for us. So.
Like I said earlier, there are a lot of people that come to things like the lab that are just there to be there. You know, they don't have an idea they're trying to develop. They're just there to experience what Shea has to offer. So clearly you've broken some kind of key to get to that point. Yeah, you're so welcome. Greg, you're so welcome. But yeah, so you're working with other clubs. Do you have like events that you plan with other clubs maybe?
How do you mean? Like, so those sessions at Shea
like the mixers you were talking about.
Oh yeah. So like their sessions at Shea are like, they're a full event, and like in that like we have full RSVP form and everything like that. Got it. We had for King's Crowd, I think we had like up to 50 or 60 RSVPs or so. A bunch of people come in, and you know, they come in and hear from this outside of BC speaker, or like maybe they'll have like a more interactive workshop or something like that, where like you have like mock pitches or something like that. They come in and like with these clubs, and like how we can bring them all together, and how we can like kind of combine our resources to make the most meaningful session for both audience. That is where we come in, and like where a lot of the event planning goes into. So we have our outreach team. Our outreach team are absolute rock stars. They come in and they handle a lot of our sessions. But in terms of like small collabs and stuff like that, with like, we'll have an acapella club come on for our halftime show at EPC and everything like that. It's just like any chance we can get to show off other clubs on campus is awesome too.
That's got to help build some culture to it too.
Totally. Yeah, it's like all of us are so excited. Dynams was our EPC.
They're real good.
Yeah, they were so good. We were all like, we were all so pumped for them to come in. Usually, like halftime is a break for us, but we're like, oh no, we gotta stay. We gotta stay and watch.
Stick around. Stick around. What was that event? EPC.
Elevator pitch competition.
Right.
So first one of the year. Yeah.
Yeah. So who won that competition?
That was Caroline Driscoll. She's a freshman from Massachusetts as well. I actually went to high school with her and her brother. Thayer Academy, shout out. But yeah, she's in our freshman program as well. She's awesome. She's an absolute rock star, and she's like been so passionate. It's so great to come to all of our events, bring such positive energy, and seeing this class of freshmen is so special too. I mean, every class is really cool, but this one is so great in terms of like absolutely like diving in and buying into all of our Shea weird quirks and culture and things that we try and do and everything like that.
You said she pitched an athletic water pack?
Or she, like the company's called Flow Bag.
Flow Bag, okay.
Yeah. And it's basically like an athletic bag or like a water sports bag or something like that like you can bring on your boat or bring to the beach and everything like that. Waterproof, floats, has charging and all that stuff. So yeah, she doesn't have a prototype. I don't know if she has a prototype yet, but.
Do you have what do you need to do that competition? Do you
EPC,
need
you just need an idea. You just need literally a baby idea or anything like that. And you can come, and that's kind of where the pipeline comes in. It's like you start with this baby idea in EPC, and then you go to the lab to learn, okay, how do I actually act on this idea? Then you go, okay, maybe I have like the bare bones of a company or something like that, or just like or just like some sort of idea. Maybe that baby idea you have is more like is more like a toddler idea where you have like it's sort of fleshed out and some ideas and kind of a skeleton behind where I can go from here on all that stuff. And then from there you go to Accelerator and exactly.
You reset every year.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Is that how it was last year too? Just like
every year.
Finish.
Every year it's kind of the pipeline. That's our goal, because like thinking about, and we're also trying to expand opportunities for people who come up with ideas in the middle of the year or something like that, where, because like at times it can feel like, I came up with an idea in February, but it's like, it's too early to too early stage for me to apply to Strakosch or anything like that. We're trying to create more options for like, whether it's, student founder office hours or anything like that, where we have students come in, who just like have an idea or just like want to chat about like maybe a problem they're having with their company or something like that, and how we can actually build it out and give them an opportunity for that is an awesome thing that we're trying to implement more of. So we're hoping to have like dedicated office hours weekly for students to come in, no matter what stage, just come chat about your company, get to know the board and everything like that.
Is there always a Start Shea member like in the office ready to
I
go?
mean, pretty much.
I know Joe is always.
Yeah, Joe's always in there. I mean,
always there.
I'm always there. Like I do my homework there pretty much, but like
it's a nice place to do your homework.
Yeah, it's a great place to do my homework, but also I'm there because like I love the people. I love our student founders who come in, and I love our board members. I love everyone involved, but also it's like I would love being there for like if someone knocks on the door, be like, hey, I wanted to pick your brain on something, or like I have a student startup and like want to learn about like how to get involved and everything like that. Like I always love being there and like hearing from students and like kind of being there as a resource. I think that's what's something we're trying to establish more of, and like kind of break down the barriers between, make us feel more accessible and show that like we really do want to help anyone and everyone we can.
Do you have a specific thing that you focus on a lot? Marketing, technical stuff?
I was a part of the marketing team for my sophomore year. I got onto the board end of my freshman year because we have our freshman program kind of like as a way to shadow the board so you can get ready to apply for the board, but you don't need to be in that freshman program to be on the board. We have a bunch of board members right now that didn't go through the freshman program, but I got on end of freshman year, and then got assigned to the marketing team, where I started to, create some graphics and, some fun like posters and everything like that. And then I was marketing lead. So I was co-marketing lead with Molly Dugan. She's a junior. Shout out Molly. Thanks for keeping me sane. And I learned how to do marketing through that. And so like where I can help a lot is with where I can help companies a lot with is like kind of building up their marketing, as well as just like general business sense, because I helped run the Accelerator program last year. I was pretty hands-on with that. And so I think that where I like got a lot of experience was with marketing, like having that hands-on of like, okay, how do we draw people to our events? So how do we, make Accelerator poster really pretty? So we went with like, last year we went with like a cool video game pixel art theme. This year we're going with the superhero theme, which Teddy Crowther came up with.
I love Teddy.
Teddy's
With all my
awesome.
heart.
He's
Yep.
an absolute rock star too. He's so awesome. I mean, I could say that about every single one of our board members.
Teddy and I literally just finished a marketing group project.
Oh,
together,
really?
So
Yeah.
I can attest he's a good marketer.
Yeah, he's fantastic. Yeah, he made our marketing materials for Accelerator this year, which are a ton of fun. It's like
Yep.
the comic book aesthetic.
It's a good looking logo.
Yeah.
It's a good look. I spent a lot of time looking at that thing.
Yeah.
Just staring at the application, waiting to do it.
Yeah. he's so it's like any way we can do that. It's like, oh, I have some experience with that, and that's where I got most of my work with Shea, and where I got most of my my time to spend on like grinding out stuff outside of like the event planning and everything like that in our semester long teams. But I had experience running Accelerator as well, and help last year. I was a part of the team that sat in on each workshop, help plan it all, everything like that. Help connect students with mentors, help communicate what's needed for each week and everything like that. And we have specifically, last year we had we were a specific point of contact for one or two teams. And basically what was great for us was we were able to say like, oh, we were able to go really hard in the paint, really help a few companies, which was really special because that gave them like a nice point of contact for them to feel comfortable with and feel like they had actual experience and someone they could go to if they had any questions or anything like that. But it also gave us great opportunities to notice where these companies can improve and everything like that, and really see them progress specifically so we can speak to them.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I know for a lot of founders, the key thing is getting constructive criticism, because it's hard to see that your idea isn't working, or that something needs to change about it, because you just assume everything's perfect, right?
Yeah, definitely.
So I assume that's like the key of where y'all's come in.
Yeah, I think that's part of it, and also just like a lot of it is not necessarily like it's just focus. It's refocusing and seeing and pointing in the right direction. And I think that's where Accelerator is really special too, because you get to show these people like, I think that, it's like, oh, that example I talked about earlier where I think you're doing too much. Like that was an actual conversation I had with a company. That like we feel like you're doing too much, like talking about it with the team and bouncing ideas with the Accelerator team and the actual company itself, like kind of going back and forth there and learning about like where can we help these companies be the best that they can, and where can we help these student founders like be the best entrepreneurs they can too.
Right.
So that like even if this company may not work out, because unfortunately a lot of the time companies don't, which is something that's awful, and we're trying to help at least a little bit, but even when these companies don't work out, that they feel like they've learned something and are better positioned for the next time they want to found a company.
Definitely.
Because we have a lot of repeat founders too, which is awesome.
They come through okay.
Yeah.
That's really cool. I had a really awesome question that just totally left my mind. Totally left my mind. Yeah. I did want to ask about MC a little bit though. So was that, I met Jack when he was like kind of going through MC. Was he a repeat, or was that his first attempt?
I am not 100% sure on that.
Because he seemed like he had a pretty fleshed out.
So yeah, I mean, he was pursuing it for 2.5 years, I think, at least.
Okay.
At least. He went into our Accelerator program 2 years ago, and then continued to pursue it after. And he was on the board afterwards too. After he went through Strakosch and everything like that, he hopped on the board, and he was the one who founded the lab and came up with that idea. He's coming next week he'll be hopping on a Zoom talking about like where to go from here.
Okay.
So.
I'll be there
at the lab. So there you go.
We'll be at that session.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and he'll help with some Accelerator like questions and everything like that. We'll have the Accelerator team there on the lab, but. also, we have, like, he came in and was just like so ready to help out founders and pay forward what like Shea had, what not only Shea but like the people we were able to connect him with, and like whatever, you know, founder or mentor we were able to pair, like their time, he was willing to give that time too, which was why he's so awesome. We miss him dearly and are so happy whenever he comes back, and it's so good to see him.
I know he built out a team too. It wasn't just him.
Yeah,
It was,
it was him.
Two of his friends too.
Yeah, it was
right?
him, Rhett, and Gianna.
Okay.
They're an awesome duo. Unfortunately, MC had to shut down with Spotify Jams. So that was a sad. That was
Unfortunate
really sad.
truths of life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Yep.
Yeah. But they were an awesome team. They were like one of our crown jewels of like, you know, I mean, they launched on the App Store and made it all the way. It's just like kind of bad timing of it, unfortunately. But it's like being able to see these companies go through these, and like people like Russ, people like Gianna, people like Rhett, be able to really go so hard in the paint and like make something really, really cool is so awesome, and something that, you know, we're here for, and anything that we can do to help is something that kind of keeps us all coming back.
Speaking of that, building out teams,
Mm-hmm.
do y'all's take any part in the other side of it? Obviously, helping the founders is one really important aspect of it. But what about helping them find a team? Or what if someone comes to you saying, I want to market with some company? Just like, give me a product, I want to try it. Do you pair up at all? Do you help build teams out?
What we have on our newsletter, a few options for kind of like job posting and job posting type stuff. So we have what we call Builder's Block and Bulletin at Shea, both of which are just like our within our newsletter each week. If a company has an idea for, or has an opening or something like that, like let's say they want to take on an intern, or they're looking for a technical co-founder or something like that, they can post that in Builder's Block or Bulletin at Shea, and we'll post that for them as long as they want it up there in our newsletter. So each week when that goes out on Mondays, it's up there for anyone to, you know, be able to fire off an application toward or anything like that.
Are those super helpful? Do you get a lot of hits on that?
I believe so. I mean, I like to think so. It probably I feel like you're probably better to ask the companies, but I mean, any way that we can help.
They reach out straight to the companies.
Yes,
Got it.
yeah, directly. We just post and then like give them a venue to kind of create an avenue for them to actually come together with companies and everything like that, and people.
I know for a lot of people that can be the hardest part.
Yeah,
is well, first off, for like I said earlier, giving up pieces of your baby, essentially, like delegating, giving other people parts of your company to handle, essentially, can be tough. But also finding those people to do it can be really tough, especially at a college campus where we're all just kind of like fuck all as we stand right now.
Yeah, definitely. And I think like one of the things that we try and emphasize too is like founder fit. And not only having what we care about more with our accelerator applications is less the idea and more the team. Because like what's really important is you can have an awesome idea, and this is true at any level, at the Shea level or at the multi-million-dollar company level. You can have an awesome idea with a great product, but if the founder and the team around it really isn't in it, or like they're just not that passionate or not able to really, you know, put themselves in the right position, then you're not going to have the right team, and it's unfortunately may not work out, and you're less likely to have it be sustainable and everything like that. What's most important is having an awesome founder team with an awesome idea, and being able to find the right founder for that company and the right team specifically. And I think that that's one of the big struggles that companies have that are looking for those specific founders. I think Ted's a great example of that with Socion. Like he had his team, he was looking for a technical co-founder for a while, but it took him a while because he went and waited to find the right person. He ended up finding one of his friends, Dan, who ends up being their current coder and is still on board with them.
Mm-hmm. So describe Socion a little bit.
Socion is, I will not do the pitch justice. I'm sorry, Ted, if you're listening. But Socion is like an influencer agency and influencer liaison and influencer management service. It's his startup. He's been so cool to see because he joined the board right after he got into Accelerator. So it was kind of cool to see like him be able to. So we made sure to keep him out of involvement in terms of like planning any Accelerator or Strakosch related events so he could participate. And then he went through Accelerator, went through Strakosch, and I believe he did SSC's Accelerator Program in the summer too. So he's awesome. I mean, his whole thing is pairing up influencers and influencer agencies with the right opportunities for these companies, and right opportunities for getting their name out there. Ted, I'm sorry, I absolutely butchered that. If you ever have the chance to see Ted Wind pitch, absolutely do it. We have our demo day on our YouTube, youtube.com/Start Shea, no plug.
No plug, shameless plugs. Yep.
Yeah. And we have our demo day recorded, and we have his pitch, and he is absolutely electrifying up there. He's so awesome to watch pitch, and he's so funny. He gets so into it, and it's just like such an awesome personality to have on stage. And so we're so lucky every single time he gets to pitch.
Now, he did a bit at the lab too, right? Yes. Yeah, he was great.
Yeah,
he's great to listen to.
He's awesome. I mean, like, that's how he is. Like, picture all that energy he brings. Like, picture all of that, but apply it to him pitching his company that he's been working on to try and create and make successful. It's unbelievable to watch. I mean, all of our teams are so special, but like, I don't know, I have a soft spot in my heart for Ted because like he's one of my good friends, and he absolutely has been killing it since freshman year too. He did EPC freshman year. He was a part of my freshman class for our freshman program. So he's awesome, and he's going abroad next semester, and we're going to miss him dearly.
Oh, he's the one going abroad.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, we have a bunch of our juniors that are going abroad. So.
Got you.
Yeah.
Okay. You clearly built up a good team here.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah.
Clearly built up a good team here.
Yeah. We're nothing without our team. And that's what my job as chair is, to not only help these student startups, but like help board members help to shape Shea how the entire board wants to see it. Me and my other co-chair Ava, that's our main goal, and trying to just like give not only these founders opportunities, but give our board the opportunity to help however we can and be the best and bring the best value add that we possibly can,
right? And
kind of match the vision for Shea.
Are there still opportunities on the board to get involved in these, idea building?
So we recruit at the end of each semester. We wrapped up recruitment a few weeks ago we wrapped up recruitment for next semester a few weeks ago. Okay. Applications will open up again at the end of next semester, and but just in general, like, we always say the best way to get involved is just come to events, come to the lab like you've been doing. It's just like, and once you get a part of that ecosystem, feel free to just stop in, talk to the board or anything like that. We have open hours coming up on Wednesday, from 1 to 4, Wednesday, December 6th. If this will air before then,
Probably not.
No.
Probably not.
Tragic.
Yeah, tragic. Give it a minute.
Yeah. But yeah, I think
it will open up in time for next semester, though. That's for sure.
Awesome.
That's for sure.
No.
So this will be out by then.
So next semester we're hoping to have open hours more like weekly or bi-weekly or so. That's still in the planning stage, but just like be able to come in, stop by, talk to the board, talk to founders, like just kind of pick the people's brains and everything like that. That's what we always say is the best way to get involved, because like when we do open up board apps and recruitment and everything like that, like we love to see the people who really are involved and like have that experience and like know what kind of Shea brings is really the ones that are always some of our strongest candidates. And like even the people who aren't on the board or who are just super involved are some of our like favorite people to have in the community and like step in. Like Zara, for example, she's not on the board but so involved and so awesome and such a huge like help to us and is so kind to us and like so willing to give her time, and it's so great and gratifying we can give a little bit back to that too. Right. And like it doesn't even have to be a founder of a company. It could just be someone who just comes to our events and comes to watch. I mean, that was me freshman year. I just jumped in and watched these events, watched these teams pitch and everything like that. It was so special. Right.
And I know the big group presentations and stuff like what you're doing with the lab, they're great, but the best part is the one-on-ones.
I think
you can bounce ideas off each other.
Yeah, I think like
get really in the specifics.
Yeah, anytime you get the chance to talk to a founder is awesome. It's so special. I mean, like obviously through Shea, but like I worked for a startup my freshman summer, and like being able to hop on a conversation with the CEO every single week was awesome. It's such a good experience, and I think like if anyone has the opportunity to talk to a founder about their business and like hear like how passionate they are and just like hear what they're trying to do is so cool, and something that I hope I never take for granted.
Definitely.
Yeah.
We are running out of time, so
Alrighty.
I'm going to essentially give you the floor for a couple of minutes, pitch
Yeah.
whatever you want,
Okay.
give some plugs. Not shameless here, just do whatever you
all right,
want.
Sounds good. Yeah. So I'd say check out our website, startatshea.com. It's start and then at, not the at sign like we have in our logo. That is a problem at times. But definitely check us out there. And that kind of as a big hyperlink for all. That's where you can find out most of our information about all of our clubs, our e-board, all of our events and everything like that. Our big event is Accelerator Shea coming up. Applications for that close December 21st at midnight. So December 21st at 11:59.
Note to self.
Yep. That's kind of what we've been talking about a lot. It's a 9-week program where we give $1,500 in equity-free funding. It's an awesome opportunity to get those 9 workshops that just kind of prepare you for running a business and learning how to do that. Stop by the Shea Room anytime in Schiller 202, and just knock on the door. We'll be happy to have a conversation and everything like that. Just want to say thank you to the team for all the hard work that you guys put in. I know sometimes it may feel like you don't get as seen, but I think like what we're doing is so special, and I can't thank you all enough for kind of your support and any help that you guys have given me. It's all meant so much. So thank you for having me on as well.
Thank you for coming. And one last question. Why Start Shea? Where'd that name come from? Who the fuck is Shea? All right.
Edmund H. Shea Jr.
Okay.
So yeah, so Start Shea is technically the student e-board for the Shea Center for Entrepreneurship, or the Edmund H. Shea Jr. Center for Entrepreneurship, to use the full name. And so we just are the ones who help kind of put on those events and everything like that. But Ed Shea was a huge supporter of BC entrepreneurship, and he was the one who's kind of established the center. And so we're the ones who kind of like are there to make the most out of those resources. So that's where the Shea came from. Start came from a startup. Startup, and then at is just a fun little at sign that we can fit into a light bulb. So
looks good on the logo.
Thank you.
For sure.
Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you again so much for coming,
course,
Chris.
yeah, pleasure.
Start Shea, and send them off, Lena.
Okay.
Awesome.